Hi, welcome to
Hey, how
Hello
are you?
Vella. This is Azrael
Thanks for
Lawless.
having me.
Once again, you've dropped in to the best channel ever for Vella content. And we have with us today a virtual Vella celebrity who has his own channel. This is Gage Greenwood. Everybody say hi to Gage. Gage, how you doing?
Good. How are you? I messed that up. You were talking to the audience, and I thought you were talking to me, and I was responding to you. I'm sorry about that.
I always have
You'd
that
think
little
being on YouTube, I would know how to do this by now.
well, your videos are the best. I can only aspire, dude. Everybody, all the villains. That's what I'm calling us now.
The
Villains. We're all
villain.
villains,
I
like we're
like
from another planet, right? Uh,
that.
you are known to all the villains and beloved by all the villains for all the good work you do out here on YouTube for us all to raise awareness of the channel. I'm not channel, sorry, raise awareness of the platform, and we're all excited about that. So, um,
Thank you. I appreciate it. My whole philosophy is just is put those hands out and make the group a group. Help everybody out, be positive, try and be uplifting.
exactly. That's what it's all about. That's what we need now for pretty much everything in the world. If you're going to have something that succeeds, you got to do it. It's a group thing,
Yeah.
and I'm very happy. The Vela community is really a great community of people, and I'm very excited to be a part of it. It's a privilege to have gotten in this early because Vela, of course, is in its infancy.
And
Um,
that's what I always think. Like if Bella closed tomorrow, I made a bunch of new friends. So it's an
exactly,
awesome community.
exactly. I'm always telling my fiance that the friends I've made, the people I've met, are just fantastic, and it has helped me tremendously, because I've been pretty much on my own in this house since the pandemic, and that's pretty cut off from everybody. So it's really been my lifeline for the
Yeah.
last, I guess, what is that now? So 6 months, I guess. I've been doing since September of 21, which brings us to forget about me. We're talking about you. I want to know, when did you find Vella? How did you find Vella? And how did you come to start writing for Vella?
Yeah. So I've been writing for a very long time. And it wasn't until about 10 years ago that I decided I was going to try publishing. That was a very short-lived experiment, because shortly after that, my son was born. I needed to get more work than I was doing, and then work took over my life. So then pandemic hit, and I started writing more again. And then it hit like September, and everyone was like, "Back to work," and that's what I was doing. And I discussed it with my family. My girlfriend, she works a couple of jobs, and she makes a lot more money than I do at my one job. Um, and it's very much like the more time she has to invest in those jobs, the more she can make. So me going to work would have actually cost us money because we have a son, and someone's going to be with our son. Plus, during the pandemic, uh, his growth was just so huge because he got more time with me. I missed him. I was like working 60 hours a week. I never got to spend time with him. So we decided that we are going to give this year as kind of like an experiment where I'm going to stay home and be the stay-at-home dad, which is a privilege that a lot of people don't get. I was very lucky to have that. So that's when I put the camera on myself and started the YouTube channel and said I'm going to give myself a year to make my three biggest dreams come true. One of those dreams was to write and publish. So at first, I just put out a couple short stories that I had written a few years ago. And then I was on Facebook one day, and this author, Jackson Lee Rose, who's one of my good friends and an awesome writer, by the way, check out her serial on Kindle Vella. It's called The Dead Wolf Diaries. She posted about that. And so I messaged her and I was like, what's this Vella thing? And I asked her all the dumb questions that everybody asks when they first learn about Vella. And I had this thing that I had written like a year before called Winter's Myths that I never finished in book form because it just didn't quite make sense that way for me. Like there was something missing. So when I learned about Belle, I said, this is it. This is what it needs to be. It needs to be told this way, where I can kind of go on these tangents with other characters and take the story on this winding road. Um, so I published in the end of October. It was like October 26th, I think. Um, And then, 4 months later, here we are.
Now, Winter's Myth, this is your primary, but don't you have another one?
I do. It just started about 3 or 4 weeks ago, called A Glass World. Winter's Myth is still my primary, as you say, and it's the one I put the most focus on. A Glass World was something else that I had been writing for a while, that fit into serial format better than novel format, and it was collecting dust, and I like the idea of focusing on one. That's just I'm better at that. Um, but I have so many episodes of it written already. I thought, well, why not just put out like one a week and just let it roll for a while, and hopefully by the time I get to the end of what I have, I'll have written more. Um, I don't know if it was a good choice, because I thought I could balance it all, but I'm tired.
Well, you do so much other stuff. You do your channel and you've got great content, and you're going out and you're contacting these heavy hitters and you're getting them on your show, and it's amazing. And of course, we're all benefiting, but I know it's probably running you ragged.
Yeah. Yeah, I got the YouTube, and then I have a second YouTube that I've been filming for. I haven't uploaded anything to it yet, and that's going to be about just like a health journey for me trying to get in shape and stuff. And then I have the Vella. I'm also working on a novel, and I have a short story collection that I'm trying to put
Woo!
together. And then I got a 5-year-old today, so
Whoa! The 5-year-old alone is a full-time job. So
it is, and I have
wow.
to like make sure that takes precedence. It doesn't matter if I have chapters to write. I'll do it at midnight if I have to, because I want to give my son attention. I want him to
Right.
he's my buddy. So, like the other day, I had a ton of stuff to do, but he really wanted to go to the seaport. So I turned my phone off and just took him to the seaport and did that for the day.
The what?
The seaport, it's just
Seaport.
yeah, near where I live, they have like a museum where and it's got the seaport, and you can see like the Amistad is there, the Mayflower. It's cool.
Ooh, that's pretty
Yeah.
cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, of course, the 5-year-old, they don't stay little very long.
Yeah. And for me, I got to just remind myself sometimes when I have this like pile of stuff I got to complete, I have to tell myself, well, remember what you're doing this for. It's for him, and it's not going to be a benefit for him if he's just sitting on the sidelines while I'm doing work all the time.
Right, right, right. And so what is Winter's Myths about? It's a wildly popular story out on Kindle Vella, and I encourage everyone who's watching this to read it. You'll find the link directly to it in the description of this video. And let's hear Gage tell us all about what it is.
So Winter's Myths is a story about a father and his 2 daughters, and they were raised underground by a community that sort of shunned people and earth and everything about it. And they were raised with very limited knowledge on what was happening on Earth, what people were. They were raised and trained to fear it and to be prepared to fight against it if anyone ever tried to come down to their community. But then something happens to their community where they have to flee and go to Earth. But when they get up there, it's largely abandoned. There's still people left, but not many. So for a long while, they're kind of traveling through this planet that they don't understand at all. And to try and make sense of it, he tells his kids these mythologies, these stories that he makes up about it. So he finds a DVD box set of Kevin Bacon, and he sees this guy who looks young in this picture and old in this picture, and a beard here and dancing here, and in a spacesuit in this one. He doesn't even know what a spacesuit is. So he thinks, well, this is like a shape-shifting demigod. So he tells the story of Kevin Bacon, the shape-shifting demigod. He sees the Abraham Lincoln Monument, the Lincoln Monument and Lincoln Memorial, and thinks that Abraham Lincoln is an ice giant because so he tells these wild tales to make sense of the world. But then threats come, and it's a dystopian dark adventure with him and his daughters that kind of balances out with these crazy stories. But the stories themselves end up connecting to his world in a bigger way that I can't really explain without.
But what is Winter? And his daughters' names are very unique. Can we hear what Winter is and his daughters' names? Is that too much of a story?
No. So his daughters are Violin and Candlestick. Actually, everyone in his community has a strange name. Those all come up at different points. Those have a purpose too, and that does get explained where those come from at one point. And they're as far as they know, they're people with unique powers. They have sort of these abilities that humans don't have, and they believe that they humanity hates them because of those powers. But that's all that they know.
Right. All right. Well, I don't want you to reveal any more than you want to reveal, but Winter's Myths is fantastic. I'm a reader, and I hope that everybody listening to this channel gives it a try because it is the bomb. All right. But I haven't seen anything of the Glass World, A Glass World. Can we hear about that?
Sure. So that one is about three different people who are all in a different stage of grieving from a tragedy that happened in their lives. And all of them start having these strange panic attacks that cause them to collapse. And when they collapse, they wake up in a world that they call the glass world because everything in it is made of glass. And then they start to develop unique powers. When they go to this glass world, they don't stay there. It's just while they're kind of in this unconscious state. And they start to develop unique powers. And slowly they start learning that not everyone likes the glass world. And a lot of people are very angry that they have these powers. And they become a big target to what's called the dead things.
Ooh. So this one, would you call this one dark and dystopic also?
Not dystopic, but definitely dark. I would say dark urban fantasy, maybe. It's kind of.
Okay.
I like to bend the genres, so it kind of.
I'm just learning really the boundaries of the genres. I'm trying to get my mind around the boundaries of the genres. I'm so new at everything, but urban fantasy, I've learned you don't have a lot of romance in that. The main thrust is what's going on in the world, which sounds very much like what you've got going on here. So that's awesome. Yeah. I'll have to check that one out too. We'll put the link in there. Just provide that to me, and that'll be down in here. So you're working on a novel. You've been writing for about 10 years. Is there anything else out there on Kindle? Anything else you could link to? Or
I have a couple short stories. They're both horror or towards the horror bend. One is called Through Flickering Lights of Silhouette, and it's a short story about a little girl whose adopted brother ran away in a blizzard, and she goes out into this blizzard to find him. But it's known in this world that at nighttime the monsters come out, and she's stuck in this blizzard in the night in the woods looking for her adopted brother.
Oof. Frightening. There are some seriously good horror writers out on Vella, I gotta say. It's drawn some good ones out there, which brings me to my next question. What are your favorite Vellas to read? What, just a couple of them, not, I mean, I've got probably half a dozen myself. You know,
I know the list is so long of Vellas that I'm reading, and I feel bad because the longer the list gets, the less attention that the ones I love are getting because it's so hard to read them all.
It is.
I'm a huge Naomi Alt fan. I think Chew is so fantastic. It's more than just a story. It's like a world that you wrap yourself in, and there's all these little like just so many details that like I hope more people read it so I can talk to them about the inside stuff that is happening in it. I love that. Chew is probably one of my favorites. I like Nikolai's Galaxy Waffles. I'm actually wearing the Galaxy Waffles t-shirt as
look at that. That's awesome. Yes, I love that one too.
Yeah, I'm reading yours. There's so many that I'm reading right now. I should just look at my list. Oh, Amanda Stone, she has a fantastic children's story on there that I read to my son called Angelo's Gift. And it's so great to see, like, romance is the predominant factor in Vella, but there's also a lot of post-apoc stuff, horror stuff, zombie stuff, anything you want you can find on there really. But there's not a ton of stuff for kids on there. not yet anyway. And so that was really really nice to find that one, and it's great. It's a fantastic story.
Yeah, I wrote it down. I've got a little 6-year-old granddaughter that I would like to read some Vellas too. And I wrote one for a Christmas story, but it turned out that I had hit too high for a 5 or 6-year-old. I'd gone, it was more like a middle schooler's story. So I gotta,
It's a skill. It's a real skill. I don't think I could do it to write a kid's book. I've tried
I didn't
a
do
few
it so
times.
well.
And the funny thing is, like, I tell my kids stories all the time. Like, I just make up these little like adventures that we're having and stuff. But to write it down, I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could do it. It's a skill.
Yeah, it is a skill. It is a skill, which is again why I wrote it down, because you're right. There aren't very many out there, and I thought I could do it, but I couldn't do it. So turned out can't write everything. Can't write everything, Azriel. But so the next thing I want to ask you is how have you enjoyed writing out on Vella? What's been your experience? Has it been a good one? Has it fed you as a creative person and, kept you charged?
Yeah, I love Bella, and I constantly telling other writers, like, try it. It's so fun. It's challenging. It keeps you motivated. It's like NaNoWriMo all the time. Like, you have to write it. You have to write it, and especially once you've made your schedule. Like, I'm not going to let my readers down and not publish the 3 times a week that I promised them. And so that means I can write 3 times a week, and
Exactly.
now I got another one that I can write once a week. So it's yeah, it keeps me motivated. It keeps me writing, and as we've talked about already, the community, it's so valuable. And it's just we're in a really unique experience right now that most writers don't get, where we're on the ground floor of something that could be huge. We all hope it's going to be huge. And it's so the visibility alone, like, even if right now, if you have a series that's not doing so well, like Last World, it's kind of just sitting there. It's getting a couple readers, but not a ton. It's still, I mean, there's people in other countries who are like, they want to get on this platform so bad and they can't, and mine's on there now and it's going to be there. So just that kind of visibility, you can't get that anywhere else. Like, you can go to KU and publish your story on there, and people can read it for free and you get paid for that. But to get people to find it is like impossible, because there's hundreds of thousands of writers on there, and we don't have that yet.
Not yet.
So even if, like, I feel like if there's a lot of new people who are watching this, is something that I'm always like trying to say is, like, don't be discouraged if you're not on the top of your tags, or you're a couple pages back and you feel like you're not getting the reads for days and days and days. Just keep publishing and keep writing it, because it's gonna hit eventually. It's gonna get more readers. The difference, I always say, the difference between the people at the top on Vella and everybody else is just time. Like, they started in the same place. They were discouraged by 0 reads when they started too. They didn't have people buying their books the second they put it out. They just worked at it for 10, 15 years, and that's why they're where they are.
Right. And the people who are doing the best in Vella, they've been in there since June, July. They published their stuff as soon as the doors were flung open.
Yeah,
They were there.
yeah,
And, and that makes a big difference too. So, yeah, I would also encourage people to just keep writing and keep sticking with the platform, and let's see where it goes. Now, that said, if you were the keeper of the keys for Vella, what would you do? What would be on your top of your wish list to see happen with Vella?
Does it have to be the top? Can I say 5 or 6 things?
You sure can.
The first thing is, I would simplify it. I know that they're the way that other serial sites work, and they're trying to emulate that a little bit. But Amazon's going for a broader audience than just serial fiction readers. They're trying to turn new people into serial fiction readers. And the easiest way to do that is to simplify it. There's too much education for the reader. The token system itself is a very difficult thing to get people to understand. And then add on top of that, like each episode, leave a review, give me a crown. The crowns, you get a new one every Sunday that you can give to one of your favorite stories. But don't do it the last Sunday of the month. You want to wait till the first of the next month for that. You know what I mean? It's just so much stuff to. And I mean, most of us aren't doing that. Most of us, I'm certainly not telling people to hold off on the crown. But the point is, it's just a lot to educate them on. Another thing is, I think that the top 250 is, I don't like it. I've been on it since the beginning, so I should be one of the ones who supports it, but I don't like it. I think I would rather see more people getting front page attention than just the people who are, you know, who have the most friends that can give them a crown, you know. I go by reads, even, you know, just something to do it differently, or make a top 100 for each tag or something like that. Just so, there's too many great stories that are never going to hit the top 250, and it's not because the story's not good, and it's not because their cover's not good, and it's not because their blurb isn't good. You know, everything is right, but there's only 250 stories that can fit on there, and a lot of them are just, you know, it's a popularity contest, but not a popularity contest in terms of the reads. It's a popularity contest in terms of like
because
getting
you can see stories that are not on there that have thousands of reads, and then you see the stories that are on there and you might have 200 reads and it's driven up to like number 10 because you know that writer has a broader reach where they can say, hey, go fave my story of friends, you know.
They go to work and they say to their department, like, everybody just go buy some tokens and send me, you know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
we live a solitary life. We don't go out to
I have 3 friends. Yeah, that's not going to cut it.
I'm a homebody. That's what I like to do. I don't like.
I know. I am too. It doesn't make for getting a lot of crowns. I can tell you that. But yeah, I agree with you. So, what do you think? See, my thing is, I would like to see a Vella app.
Oh, me too. Yeah, or even just like a different section on a Kindle app, something to make it stand out a little more, and navigate to easier. I would love an app for it. That would be amazing.
Yeah, I was pretty jazzed. I think before we started, I told you I bought a Kindle book on recommendation of another Vella author, and when I opened it up on my phone today, I was pretty pumped to see all my Vellas come up in a string, you know, before the book did. But it's still what you've been reading lately. It's not like it separates it puts it on the same line. So, you know, not much of a, and maybe they're not going for much of a separation there. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know what their plan is, and they're going to be smarter than I am when it comes to how to market the thing. But
yeah, me too.
You know, it's in its infancy. We just gotta hope for the best.
Yes, I'm hoping for the best myself. Now, what are you, if you got anything you can talk to us about that you're working on, that's going on in the Gage Greenwood creation station up here?
The creation station.
Thought you might know that term.
I think that needs to be like a Facebook group, the creation station, where the writers get together.
It's for little kids. It's like creation station. I think Crayola makes one. They've got these little where they have all the different art supplies, the creation station. But I kind of think of a writer's brain that way. So
yeah. So my big focus right now is on Winter's Myths, because I got 5 episodes in the works that I've written them, and they're published, that finishes season 1. So I'm working on season 2, the writing part of it. And then I'm also starting to do stuff to get it into book form.
That's what I was going to ask too. So I'm excited about that. You're going to put Winter's Myths season 1 in a book, huh?
I wasn't going to. For the longest time I said I'm not going to do it, but I've been reworking it, and I think I can get it into book form in a solid way. So I hired an artist to do the cover for that, and I've hired an editor, and we're going to go through all of the edits, and then I've got a couple of fellow authors who are going to read it and maybe get a couple of quotes for it. So I've been working mostly on Winter's Myths lately. I do have a book that I'm working on, but I sort of put it on the back burner a little bit while I'm doing this stuff. That one's called On a Clear Day You Can See Block Island. That's a horror novel. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. And then the YouTube channel, always working on that.
That sounds like a lot. It sounds like a lot.
It is. I'm gonna take a nap.
And it's great, and we're all grateful. I tell you, we're all very pleased for the attention that it brings the platform. And it's pretty exciting to have you on my little channel, which has a whole, 54 followers.
My first like 3 months, I only had 37. And then once I started, and then I got a couple of the Cali Chase interview I did, gave me a big bump. And then when I started doing the interviews with Michael, that gave me a little bit of a bigger bump. And now every time I make a video, I get like 10 or 15 more subscribers. So
ooh, that's awesome. Now I've hired Michael to do my website. I decided that I simply did not have the bandwidth or the knowledge to do a modern website that would be appealing to everyone. I'm way back in HTML5 or whatever, and no, I don't think so. So I'm looking for great things from him for my website. Now you have a website, right?
Yeah, he did mine as well, Michael.
Right on. And so I want that in the description of this video as well. I want them all to be clickable. I want everybody to be able to find everything you've done, everything you're doing, and get all this cross population going here. So
cool. Yeah. Yeah, and if you do go onto my website, make sure you sign up for my newsletter.
Oh, I will.
my newsletter is both for readers and writers. So
excellent.
I do a section for the readers, and then at the bottom I do a section for the writers. So whatever you're into, we got it.
I'm into both. I'm definitely, like I said, I'm a Gage Greenwood fan. I'm out there. I'm one of your people.
Are you in the Gage into Chaos?
No, I'm not. I'm not a Gage into Chaos. I should be though. I know I'm a subscriber to this channel, but I'll subscribe to your newsletter and go out to your website. And what's Agents of Chaos?
That's just what I say at the beginning of my YouTube videos. Like,
oh, what your fans are. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, so
I did start a Facebook group. I did start a Facebook group yesterday for him. So
that's right. And I joined that.
Yeah. So you're a agent. Yeah.
Okay. Then I am a agent.
About to be rolling out I'm gonna be rolling out some merch soon.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. Everybody's getting the merch, which I love. I did it for my primary, so I'm looking forward to that. Just having it is fun. Having it for yourself is fun.
I love it's cool because I support other writers by reading their work, but this is just another opportunity to do that. And it's not only like, am I buying like a product that gives them a little cash right there, but then also I'm sort of advertising that product by wearing it,
exactly.
I just got some Lazarus Fire Department merch from Naomi Alt's Chew. So I'm stoked about that. And then lately I've been on a kick for trying to get signed books. I'm just trying to get like a collection of signed books. I got that from Audrey Carlin. When I interviewed her, she has like giant bookshelf behind her of just like a massive amount of books. And I commented on it. She's like, all of those are signed. Whenever I meet an author, I ask them to sign a book. So that's my new thing. I'm trying to get the autographs.
That is so awesome. So awesome. I can only aspire. Well, let's see. What would you like to say to your readers here as we close and end this up?
Thanks. Thanks for reading it. I appreciate everyone. I've always said that this is not my journey; it's our journey. It's whoever's taking it with me. We're all going places together. So I appreciate everyone who takes the time to read it. And if you're watching this and you haven't read it, thank you in advance if you decide to check it out.
And I hope you do. Because folks, you are looking at one of the great writers out on Vella here. And I'm so pleased that he had the time to spend and come here on Hella Vella today. Thank you so much, Gage. This has been fun.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right,
we have to do more stuff together.
Take it easy.
We'll do a YouTube video with me too. Come on my show.
I will. I would love to. Just ask me. I'm right here. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody.